faith is so critical. And the reason is because faith is the anchor. You know, every ship that you see them back at the port. You know, you see them that they are floating on the waters. You see them moving up and down in an undulating manner. You are wondering, why are they not drifting into the ocean? You know, because with the current and the movement of water, when a ship or a boat sits on top of the water, of course, you know, eventually the current will take the boat and then it will disappear into the ocean. If there was no anchor, brethren, you will just see, all across the ocean, there will be boats, there will be ships, they will all scatter the ocean, above the oceans. But because there is an anchor keeps the boat, keeps the ship from drifting apart. That's what the anchor does. Brethren, faith is so critical to the children of God. If you call yourself a child of God, faith is important because that is your anchor. Without faith, brethren, many of us who call ourselves Christians, there will be challenges about your faith, and of course, there will be no anchor for your faith. There will be no anchor for your beliefs. Faith is the anchor for our beliefs as children of God. For that reason, understanding faith is very, very crucial, is critical to our Christian walk. Actually, Scripture says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. It says that without faith, it is impossible to please God. So, if you are a child of God, for you to please God, you must have faith. Amen. If you don't have faith, you cannot please God. Hebrews 11 chapter verse 6. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6 says, because anyone who approaches him must believe that he exists. Amen. Let me go back to that. The word says, without faith, you cannot please God. But it goes on in verse 6 to say that anyone who approaches him must believe that he exists. How many people have seen God before? Oh, I don't see any hands up. Oh, I thought I'm the only one who has not seen him. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. But you believe in him. Amen. Yes. But how do you quantify that belief? The belief is in the faith that he exists. Amen. Let me go back to that. Your belief lies in the faith that God does exist. Even though you do not see him, you believe that he exists. You have faith in the fact that he exists. It's faith that helps you to believe that. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. It says, because anyone who approaches him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly, those who diligently, earnestly, they seek him. So, faith, simply stated, is believing God. Simple words. Somebody asks you, what is faith? It's believing God. Faith is not lip service. Faith is not lip service. Faith is not saying that I believe God or that I believe in God. Faith is truly and actually believing God. Brother, you got it a moment ago, but I think you lost it again. Faith, because I can bring my voice down now. Once you get it, then I can bring it down. Okay? Faith is truly and actually believing God. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. Scripture gives us a clear definition of what faith is. Gives us a clear definition of what faith is. If we go to Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. Scripture says, faith is the assurance of things hoped for. Assurance of the things hoped for. And the conviction. Somebody say conviction. Conviction. It is the conviction or the evidence. The evidence of things that have not been seen. It is the conviction or the evidence of the things that you have not seen. You know, evidence is critical to me. Because at my job, that's what I deal in every day. At my 9-to-5 job, that's all I deal with. You come before me, you better come with your evidence. And brethren, many times, people come before me and, because of the rule of law, the way it operates, attorneys, they come in and then they come to argue their cases. So they go forth and back. And by the time they are done, you know what the truth is. But sometimes you still have to rule for somebody you should not rule for because they did not have evidence. Because there was nothing to prove their the Lord, somebody. It pained me so much this week. I walked into the office of all my colleagues and I said, I granted, I ruled somehow in this case, but I should not rule here. But there was no evidence. I mean, the party that should go home singing, they went home probably unhappy because they could not prove it. And I said, a hunch in me is telling me that this is where I should rule, this with where it should go, but because there was no evidence to prove it. Brethren, man looks for evidence. And that's why it's so difficult for us to believe in God. Why? Because you do not see Him. And that's where faith comes in. It comes to play a role so that what you cannot see, what you do not have evidence for, what you cannot substantiate, you believe it in your heart that it exists. That's where faith is very critical. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. What faith means is trusting in something that you cannot see. Something you cannot see, you don't even have control over it, or something you do not even understand. You have faith in it. And there are two components of that. While I'm not going to waste time on this. Two components to faith. There is a factual component to it. And then there is one that is irrational, that you cannot hold on to. And I will start with the factual. What's the fact about this? What is the purpose of a chair? Why do we have a chair? I'm asking a question. What do we do with a chair? We sit on it. Praise the Lord, somebody. It's meant to carry the weight of the one who should sit on this chair. But how many people, before you sit on this chair, would feel it before you sit down? Or you would do that? Praise the Lord, somebody. I know people who will just get somewhere and then they will sit like that on a chair without knowing whether the chair has the capacity to hold their weight or not. When you do that, you are treading in the territories of the unknown. Praise the Lord, somebody. Oh, you must have great faith for you to just get onto a chair and just sit down like that without wondering whether it will hold your weight or not. You come to church, you know these chairs. You know them very well. Amen? And you know they can carry your weight. So when you come into church, what do? You just sit. But if I don't know the chair and it looks rickety to me, what am I going to do? I'm going to feel it. Those X, chairs that have X on their legs like that. Those kind of chairs. Anytime I see them, I'm always afraid. Because I'm thinking if I move one way or the other, that this chair could just fall and then that will be it. Brethren, when I sit on the chair, I have faith in the capacity of the chair to hold my weight. But there are two levels to that. One is the knowledge of the fact that this chair can carry my weight. I may have that knowledge, but not until I sit on it, I don't have faith in the capacity of this chair to carry me. Two faiths, two types of it. I look at it, wow, this chair has a capacity, this metal, it should be able to carry me. I see my weight, what's my weight? 180 or something, 180 pounds. My doctor says I'm overweight. Praise the Lord, somebody. They say that I'm borderline obese. Not even overweight, they say I'm obese. That's what my doctor tells me. I don't believe it. Praise the Lord, somebody. But so this chair, I look at it, 180 pounds, it should be able to carry this. So I want to sit on it. But brethren, looking at it and not sitting on it, my faith is not complete. So I look at it, I have head knowledge that because of all this should be able to carry me. But not until I sit on it, I've not exercised my faith. Okay. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. The day you exercise your faith is the day you look at that chair and then you sit down. Okay. And when it now carries you, wow, my faith has done what it's supposed to do. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. I'll tell you a quick story to further expatiate on that. There's this woman I know. She's related to my wife. She lives in a city called Ibadan. She runs a restaurant, a hotel. It's actually a hotel in Ibadan. And before we got married, my wife and I would go to visit. And when we got there, I found that her husband just didn't live in Nigeria then. So I wondered, I said, where's the husband? They say her husband was living in Japan. So she was staying in Nigeria with, I think, 4 children. She had 4 children at the time. And I'm thinking, this is a lot of work for a woman. Working them at the university. And at the same time, taking care of 4 kids. And I thought, this woman should just carry these children and go and meet your husband. I didn't know how difficult visa was. I never tried to get one. At that time, praise the Lord, somebody. And I just thought, take your people and just go to Japan, go to Japan. And you know what she said? She said she cannot enter a plane. She said the day she entered a plane that she would die. I said, wow. So that's why your husband will be in Japan and you remain in Nigeria. For how long will you continue doing that? So every time we go there, we'll try to persuade her. He says, no, I'm never going to get on an airplane because I believe when I get on an airplane that I will die. Brethren, recently, because that's somebody, she knew, she had knowledge that the airplane would take her. She has taken her husband, he's taking people she knew across the oceans, all across the world. She had the head knowledge that the airplane would take her. But she never had the faith to get on one, to board one so it could take her to a destination. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So when you're talking about faith, I'm trying to postulate a theory here that many people will claim that we have faith when in fact you have not exercised your faith. Or you don't even have faith. Praise the living Jesus. She did not test her faith by getting on an airplane. She believed she would die when she got on an airplane. I was told last year that the woman died. And I said, how did she die? They said she died in London. I said, in London? How did she get to London? She said she was never going to get on a plane. She must have traveled on a plane to get to London, but that's where she ended up. But brethren, listen to me. When she got on the plane, eventually exercised her faith. The truth is that the plane took her to London. She didn't die on that plane. She did not die on the plane. It means that it got to a point where something in her life made her to change, and then she decided to exercise her faith. Eventually she got on a plane someday, I don't know when, and she was taken to London, and that's where she lived for the rest of her life, and that's where she died. Praise the living Jesus. What point am I making here? There's a difference between the head knowledge of something, having the capacity to help you, and for you to actually take advantage of that help. I'll give you another example. Praise the living Jesus. Knowing Jesus alone does not amount to having faith in him. I know Islam. How many people know Islam? But I don't believe that it will take me to heaven. You agree with me? Praise the Lord, somebody. Look at this example. You know, there's some time ago, I think it must have been about 10, 12 years ago. It must have been about 12 or 13 years ago, because the church is now 13 years. Amen. You know, we started, and brethren, for everybody who's present here, you know, we have an issue. We don't have a drummer. So, you know, for those of you, you know, who are there, you can see that, you know, our praise and worship, Tito is just trying to, you know, to beat the drums. We need somebody who can actually beat the drums. But we thank God for Tito anyway. Come on, celebrate him. Praise the living Jesus. You know, we have to turn things around again this morning because we need instrumentalists. But that's by the way. Listen to me. We started this church in Pittsburgh. I'm talking about faith. You know, we talked about faith being the evidence, you know, let me go back to it. The assurance of the things you hope for, the conviction and the evidence of the things not seen. Many of us, we miss miracles because we lack faith. That year in Pittsburgh, we started a church. And you know the way, when we start churches, what we do is that, you know, we start the church, we gather people, and then God's small by people by little people will come in, and then, you know, somebody who can sing will come, somebody who can pray will come, and you know, that's how the churches go. So this church we started, there were no instrumentalists in the church. And I think I've told this story here before. So in the week, I know I was just sitting in church in my office, and then the Holy Spirit told me that we should get a drum and take it to church on Sunday. I said, drum? Take it to church on Sunday? We don't have a keyboardist, we don't even have a drummer. I mean, if you want to buy drums, you will have a drummer. So I started saying that, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking that this doesn't add up. This doesn't make sense. But it kept coming back to me. It kept coming back to me. And then after a while, I called up one brother who is an instrumentalist in our church in Philadelphia. And I said, brother, I said, where can we buy a drum today? I think I'm talking on Tuesday or Wednesday, that we can ship it and get it to Pittsburgh. He said, I will look, and then he called back to me and told me there's no way we can get to Pittsburgh. The time, I think it must have been on Thursday or so when I called him. So he said there's no way you can get it on Saturday. But the Spirit kept telling me, get a drum and bring it to church. Bring a drum to church. So I told him, I said, what can we do? How can we get a drum into church this Sunday? This guy said, they rent drums. I said, oh, so you can rent the drum. He said, yes. And when you're done with service, you take it back. I said, oh, that's a good thing. I never knew they could do that. So the boy said he would look for me in Pittsburgh where we could find a drum. He looked around, find a place, guitar center or something, and you know, they had a drum, one that we could rent. So I got to Pittsburgh on the Friday, and we went to get the drums. We took it and then we put it in church. And Sunday morning came, and we were going to start. Choir, they were in line. No drummer, no keyboardist. And then we started clapping, and we were singing. But there was a drum sitting there, just like we have a drum here, right, like that. Nobody to play the drum. Talking about faith. Brethren, God spoke that word, it birthed faith, and I held on to it. So as soon as we started singing, I saw one young man. I noticed him. He came in from the back of the church. The first time this person would ever come to church. Never seen him in Pittsburgh. He just walked through and came into service. As soon as he came in, he sat down and was praying. And then after a while, he got up and then looked at the drum and walked over to the drum. So he got to the drum, picked up the drumsticks, and brethren, this boy sat down. I've never seen anybody play drums like that boy before. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. Brethren, that boy played drums. We were excited in church. We were so overjoyed that God could do this, bring somebody out of the blues. Brethren, based on the word of faith that we just held on to and believing that guy became a member of the church. Even that same day, he stopped going anywhere else. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. I'm talking about faith. Faith comes by a word. When you hear the word, you hold on to it. God can do wonders through it. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. Knowing Jesus alone does not amount to having faith. When I heard that word, I could do nothing about it. And brethren, if I did nothing about it, we would have lost it all that day. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. Many people believe in God, but they don't put their faith, they don't put it to test. Your trust in God, you don't test it. Let me say this to you. Believing that Jesus is the Son of God, died on the cross for our sins, and was resurrected is not enough. It is not enough. Do you know why? This is the basic. Demons believe that. Are you hearing me, please? Yes. Demons, they also believe that. And you know, they believe and tremble. James chapter 2 verse 19. James chapter 2 verse 19. Let me corroborate that very quickly. James chapter 2 verse 19. It says, you believe that there is one God. You do very well. The devils, they also believe, and they do what? They tremble, brethren. The devils, they believe and they tremble. So you have not made a difference if all you do is believe in God. You do very well. Devils believe that and they also tremble. But you can take that faith, you can take it a step further and then see miracles happen. Praise the Lord, somebody. Let me give you one or two examples. One night, a house went on fire. And a young boy was forced to flee to the roof. The house was on fire. The parents were not at home. The dad was outside. So the dad was standing outside with outstretched hands, waiting for this boy. He knew that the boy could jump from the roof and that he could catch the boy. So the boy, from his position, he could see the boy. But the boy could not see him. The boy was standing at the roof and he says, boy, jump. I will catch you. But where the boy was standing, all he could see was smoke, flames, and darkness. He could not see his dad. And as you would imagine, the boy was afraid. He didn't want to jump from the roof because he was afraid for his life. And his dad was screaming and yelling, boy, jump, I will catch you. Boy, jump, I will catch you. And every time the boy protested, Dad, I cannot see you. Do you know, he was saying, jump, I will catch you. He was looking at the boy. The boy says, I cannot see you. All I'm seeing is flames. All I'm seeing is fire. All I'm seeing is smoke. I cannot see you, Dad. But Dad says, jump. He says, jump into the fire, jump into the smoke, jump into the soot. He said, but I will catch you. The boy says, I cannot do that. I will not jump. He protested. The boy said, I cannot see you. Then Daddy replied, but I can see you. And that's all that matters. It says, I cannot see you. That's all. But I can see you. And that is all that matters. Brethren, when you are standing at the top and you are expecting to make a jump of faith, at that time, brethren, faith is telling you that you should make a jump. But what are you looking at downstairs? You are looking at darkness, you are looking at fire, you are looking at smoke, you are looking at soot. But do you know there's a Father that is waiting down there? He wants to catch you. You are not making the jump because you can see, but because God sees you. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. The Christian faith enables you to face life or to meet with death. Not because we can see, but because we have the certainty that we are seeing. I don't know what you are going through. I've come to announce to someone in the house that the God of heaven sees you in that situation. Amen. And because he sees you, he will make a way for you. In the mighty name of the Lord Jesus. It's not because you have all the answers, but we know a God that has all the answers. He is on our side. That is what the object of your faith is about. There's an animal that is called the African impala. You know that car called impala? That's not the car. The impala is not a car. Amen. For those of you who don't know it, the impala is an animal. It looks like a deer. It's a version of a deer. It's a type of deer. The African impala, the reason it's so special is because it can jump. It has the capacity to jump. As a matter of fact, it sprints. I don't know which one does better between the impala and the kangaroo. It sprints. It can sprint and then bounce. The African impala is being said that it can jump to a height of over 10 feet, going up. It can go up 10 feet. What's my height? I'm 5 something. I won't tell you what my height is. But I'm just a little over 5 feet. Praise the Lord, somebody. So double my height. The impala can jump up. You don't know my height. Amen. So don't start thinking in your mind that you know my height. Amen. So the impala will jump double this height. Just imagine that it can jump double this height. And when it makes that jump, science says that it can cover a distance of 30 feet. 30 feet all at once. But do you know, these magnificent animals, they keep them behind concrete walls that are 3 feet tall in the zoos. They keep them behind walls that are only 3 feet tall. How is 3 feet? Maybe about this. About this podium. That's what they keep them behind. And they never venture out of that place. An animal that can jump 10 feet high, you are keeping him behind a 3 feet wall. There is a problem with that. Do you know why the impala will never get out of the 3 foot wall? I'll tell you the reason. The reason is that the animal will not leap if they cannot see where their feet will touch ground. He will never leap. He will not even jump up if he cannot see where he is going to. Brethren, that is where faith comes into the picture. If I could speak to an impala, I would tell the impala that sometimes you have to jump and let your faith carry you and just land somewhere and see what God wants to do there. Praise the Lord, somebody. Faith is the ability to trust what we cannot see. What you cannot see. Faith gives you the ability to trust it. And with faith, you are freed from the flimsy exposures of life that fear entraps you within. Praise the living Jesus. Hallelujah. Brethren, today, all I'm going to do is just to give us some characteristics of faith. And then we'll end service very quickly. Brethren, the first thing I'll talk about, the characteristic of faith, is that your faith is as strong as the object of your faith. Your faith is as strong as the object of your faith. What determines the potency of your faith is the object of the faith. Meaning, what do you put your faith in? What is the thing that you put your faith in? Abraham, in the passage that we read today, Abraham was a man of faith. But what did he put his faith in? He put his faith in the God of heaven. Romans chapter 4 verse 18, Romans 4:18, Scripture says, against all hope, Abraham hoped and believed. Abraham hoped and believed. And so he became the father of many nations, just as he has been told. He says, so shall your offspring be. Abraham believed against all hope. He continued to believe, and so he became the father of nations. Why did he become the father of nations? Because he hoped and believed against hope. Hope is not the same thing as faith. They are different, but they are related. Hope is the desire for something to be true or to happen. But faith is the assurance that that thing is going to happen. You can hope that something will happen, it may never happen. But faith is what turns that hope into reality. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. In Genesis chapter 15 verse 5, why did Abraham have hope? Genesis 15 verse 5. Abraham was old, he had no offspring. God took him outside and said, Genesis 15 verse 5. And Scripture says, and he brought him forth abroad. This was God bringing him forth here. And he said, look now towards the heaven and tell the stars, if you will be able to number them, And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. That was the promise of God to Abraham. He said, you should come outside, come and look at the stars. If you can count the stars, so shall your offspring be. But God was speaking at this time to a man who did not even have a child to his name. Somebody who did not have a child. I mean, if there was science in those days, I believe that he must have been seeing doctors, himself and his wife, and nothing was happening. But in verse 6, Genesis 15 verse 6, Genesis 15 verse 6, go on. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. Brethren, Abraham believed God. He did not believe in anything else. His background, his origin was a sun or a moon god. That's what he believed in. That's what he grew up to know. But brethren, scripture says, this God of heaven spoke to him at some point, and Abraham now believed him. Scripture says, he counted it to him for righteousness. Who counted it to him for righteousness? The man that he believed in. That is God. Abraham believed in God. It was counted unto him as righteousness. When you believe in God, God will count it for you as righteousness. Brethren, the object of your faith must be in the right thing or in the right person. If your faith is not supposed to be disappointed. There are still some people, who put their faith in something that somebody sent to them from Africa. God will help you. Amen. Praise the Lord, somebody. Hallelujah. Brethren, let me say to you, and many people, they laugh. You think that is a joke? I've been in situations before, even here in America, where they believe in those amulets and charms that somebody brought them from Africa. If that's what you put your trust in, it's a misplaced trust. It is because it will fail you. Praise the living Jesus. Many of us, we get on planes and you trust the pilot. You trust in the pilot. And a pilot, you don't know his qualification. The pilot, you don't know his training. The pilot, you don't know what's going on with him. You don't know whether that morning he fought with his wife, quarreled with his wife before coming to fly a plane. You have never seen that. You just get on the plane and we put our trust in him. But brethren, we trust them to deliver us where we are going to. That is misplaced trust. Our trust should be in God, the one who rules the heavens and the earth. Brethren, sometimes our faith is in our jobs. When they give you the big slip, what happens to that faith? That faith is destroyed. Your faith sometimes is in your husband, is in your wife. But when they disappoint you, what happens to that faith? But scripture says, the psalmist in Psalm 20 verse 7, where should we put our faith? Psalm 20 verse 7, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord. What is the name of the Lord? The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous, they run into it and they are saved. Brethren, any other thing that you have your trust in, if it is not in the name of the Lord, brethren, go and change it today. You have the opportunity to do that right now. Scripture says, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. Will somebody here, when you are in trouble, remember the name of the Lord your God? That is in whom your trust should be. Go to the next verse. Go to the next verse, verse 8. Go to verse 8. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and we stand upright. That's what scripture says. Those who have come against you, they bow down and they are falling, but the Lord makes you upright. Why? Because your trust is in the right thing. Brethren, what do you put your trust in? Do you put your trust in people or things or circumstances that will disappoint you? If you do that, you're only setting yourself up for failure. Put your trust in the God of heaven. Look unto him, the author and the finisher of your faith. It does not matter what you are going through, that God can deliver and he will sort your problems out. I don't know what your challenges are this morning. Have faith in God and he will deliver. Have faith in God and he will come through for you. Have faith in him and he will change your situation. He will give you a new song, even in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. What is the object of your faith? The first characteristic of faith is that your faith is as strong as the object of your faith. If the faith is not strong enough, if the object of your faith is not strong enough, you will be disappointed. So why don't you put your faith in the God, the one that is the ruler of the heavens and the earth? Amen. Amen. Second characteristic of faith is that faith has obstacles. Faith has obstacles. There are things that stand in the way of faith. Things standing in the way of faith. Thank you very much. Faith has obstacles. What are the obstacles of faith? Doubt is one of them. Doubt is an obstacle to faith. Ignorance is an obstacle to faith. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Ignorance is an obstacle to faith. Misunderstanding is an obstacle to faith. Temptation is an obstacle to faith. Weakness is an obstacle to faith. Persecution, they are all obstacles to faith. Praise the Lord, somebody. Brethren, true and saving faith does not focus on the obstacles, but they focus on the words and the promises of God. Brethren, you face a challenge, you face an obstacle. You don't look at the obstacles. What you are going to look at is the size of your God. You are not going to look at the size of the obstacles. Rather, you want to look at the size of your God. You know, I was reading a book. And you know, in the book, they were wondering, you know, there was this thing, and it has nothing to do about faith. In that book, the question was, why would God punish people for small offenses? You know, for little, small offenses. And there was an example that was given in scriptures when Uzzah, when you know he saw the Ark of the Covenant that was being taken, you know, by a cart, and then it looked like the Ark was going to turn over, and this man, you know, tried to touch the Ark, and then, you know, lightning struck him, and then he died. And you know, the question was, why would God do a thing like that? And remember, you know, we're talking about the characteristics of faith, the obstacles to faith. The author was now saying that the magnitude of an offense, of an infraction, is not in the offense itself, but the magnitude or the size of the person that you have offended. I'll say that again. That the magnitude, the size of the offense is only determined by the person against whom you have offended. I'll give you examples. So he now gave examples. This is how he started. He said, if you slap a cab driver, and let's take ourselves from America, because no, that will give you a list, you know, chat right away. Amen. And then you'll be in trouble. But let's go to places where it doesn't matter. You slap people and then you just walk away. You go your way. Amen. Because you don't know that there are places like that. Thank God that you live in America. There are places somebody sees you on the street, they slap you and they walk away. You know their name. You know their house. There's nothing you can do about it. But here in America, you go to court for that. That's misdemeanor. I mean, it's a big deal. Don't slap people. Amen. Praise the Lord, somebody. So, you know, so let's assume that in the place where you can do whatever you want. So you go there, you slap the taxi driver. What will happen? This taxi driver will get up and slap you back. Yes. And then everybody goes home. Everybody is happy. And then you rub your own, I rub my own. Everybody goes away. But now let's assume that you have something against a policeman, a police officer. And then the police officer, you just look at the police officer with their hat, everything, uniform on, goes. What will happen? You'll probably end in jail.